Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Today we're going to go over how to draw Gary from Spongebob SquarePants. Gary is his pet snail, SpongeBob's pet snail. So I'm going to be using this pencil, just a pencil nub. I'm just trying to use it up, really. That's pretty much the only reason I'm using it. But the real thing I'm using here is the marker, this Copic marker. It's an N8 neutral grayscale. Usually these come in a, like a box with a bunch of other ones, and they're expensive, but I'm using it for this. Something distinct about this is it has a tip right here, brush tip on one side, and the other side has a flat tip, and that's very useful, very, very useful. Anyways, and you can refill them too. So let's start out with the basic shapes that Gary's made up of, and he's made up of a lot of circles. Oops, let me see. I want to make sure it's centered on the page. He's got this kind of oval egg shape for his shell. I'm kind of near that, almost as high as that, but not really. He's going to have an eyeball there that's kind of overlapping it. And then there's going to be some distance, so he's going to have his other eyeball. And that's a circle. As circles you can make it. So you got to cut off the shell a little bit at the bottom there. And his body is basically very flat. It's very flat, kind of like pancake-like, almost like somebody cracked an egg and left it on the floor. And then his eyeballs. By the way, I'm drawing really dark like this because I'm going to put another sheet over it, So don't make it draw like this. I'm going over the basic structure of Gary, because once you know the basic structure, you can kind of change poses. Although, I don't know, Gary has like, what? 2 poses really, like smiles, and doesn't do a whole lot. But just, for your reference, it's good to know what it's made up of, because it's, what do you call that? Teach you how to fish instead of giving you a fish. I don't know if that makes even sense. To be honest, I don't know if that makes sense. But if I just taught you to draw, just do this line, do this line, do this line, I don't think you'll learn as well as if you know what the structure is made up of. It'll make more sense if you know that's more of a, clearly a circle, oval. Anyways, bum, 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 bum. So that's pretty much easy. He's a very easy shape. So let's go into this. I'm gonna grab this sheet of paper and I'm gonna slide it underneath another one. This is regular computer paper, cheap, very cheap. It comes in a giant ream of paper. This is called tabloid paper. It's a little bit. It's 11 by 17, and like I'm telling you, it is very cheap. You can get a ton of it, really. It's not expensive. I don't use special paper, honestly. I guess the only way I used to use special paper for inking. I guess it was like Bristol board, but that's about it. And I haven't used that in years. So anyways, let's go into this. See, you can kind of see a faint image of it. I'm going to go in with a brush side, and I'm going to start with, actually, maybe should I go in with the, maybe go in with a marker, because it would be easier for that circle. I mean, the flat side. Let's try with the flat side for this circle here. I'm going to trace this because I got to get my muscles used to making a circle. I should have practiced circles over there, but I'm not going to do that. That's one circle. A little wonky, but it'll work. Another circle. That one's a lot better. His eyeball here. It's going to be a little bit different because we're working with black and white. So, I mean, normally Gary would have these red rings around his eyes, So, I am going to try to do that with thin line. With the brush tip side. Try to make it thin as I can. Now I'm going to pull that down to his body. And it kind of has a slight taper to it. Actually, let me talk about that really quick. That taper he has, it's not just a tube, you know what I mean? It's almost like a tube that slowly does this. Kind of squeezes in a little bit, not even that tight, but just kind of to keep that in mind. You know what I mean? There is kind of this pushing in the center portion of that. Anyways, hope that kind of makes sense a little bit. So let's go back. Let's go keep going in here. I'm going to pull that down to his body. I do that in 2 strokes. I want to do it in 1, but I just couldn't do it. I'm going to continue the front of his body here. A little sweep the front. I'm going to pull that other line. I'm going to try to make it as similar as I possibly can. It's a little bit thicker than that line. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm going to go over here. I'm going to pull back into the shell area. And I'm going to draw the shell kind of divots in a little bit, you know? Kind of pushes into his body, kind of make it look attached. And then I'm going to draw the bottom portion just to kind of get that out of the way. And it's just this wobbly line, really. There's nothing too careful about it. If you really want, there's a color differentiation. There's a blue up here and there's a yellow down here. If you really want, do a thinner line just to kind of make it seem, because we're doing black and white, maybe a thinner line to make that color come out. You don't have to. I don't think it's necessary, but I thought that'd be cool. And then I am going to try to do the oval, you know, the shell. The shell kind of digs into his back. It has this different shape right here. It has this little bulb at the bottom. And then I'm going to do this side first. Ooh, that was close. And now I have to do that top portion. That one's going to be hard. Here goes nothing, guys. Let me see. It has a little bit of, let's see. Trying to move my hand, get it used to it. I want to make that line a little bit thicker. Man, I kind of messed it up, but see, it's dangerous to do that. And now the line is another swirl. Normally this is a red line, but I'm having to do this in marker. And he's got these little circles on him. I want to say it's a pattern, but it's really just like 5 circles or something, 5 ovalish. They're not totally circles. His eyes are more circular, you know. And that is Gary. That's a quick Gary. That's for a demonstration. It's in black and white. He looks weird in black and white. It's really strange to see him that way. And if you really want, I don't have room, but his smile's kind of cool too. But I'll do that in another video. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you have any questions, ask below, and talk to you later.